Welcome back to Modiri Secondary School here in Ga-Rankuwa. You made mention of the Basic Education Minister there in Ga-Rankuwa. Part of what she really stressed at that all-important prestigious ceremony last night was the uptake or lack thereof of those gateway subjects. I'm talking math, science, accounting, etc. These are essentially the areas of learning that are seen, at least in the world, as really opening up doors to a wide variety of careers. We are now inside one of the physical science labs here at Modiri Secondary School, which, as you mentioned, has been around for quite some time and is seeing a steady incline insofar as the performance of the matriculants is concerned. Last year, an 85% pass rate. This year, slightly up to 87%. But of course, educators are aiming much higher than that. It's a quintile 1 school, but let me show you just what this particular lab looks like. What is taking place at the moment is the stock taking of some of the textbooks here, and in fact I'm told it's actually a quintile 4 high school institution, and what has been taking place over the past couple of hours, we've seen a steady stream of the class of 2025 essentially coming back to hand in some of their textbooks with the hopes that their successors, the class of 2026, the next cohort, will essentially be able to use those. But let's invite the deputy principal of the school in David Malau, who's been with us for much of the morning and joins us now live in this lab. Deputy Principal, what a morning it's been. The school has come alive with a lot of activity, but you and I were speaking a short while ago about some of the challenges that you're facing as an institution. Some of those has to do with some of the resources at this particular school. Help us understand what those constraints are.
Yeah, if you're able to see, we've got an empty laboratory here, which has got only textbooks. And we are able to talk about the 2 gateway, or rather 3 gateway subjects, which is life sciences and physical sciences, whereby most of our learners want to do some practical experiments in this particular laboratory. But if you check it, we don't have apparatus. So normally what we do, we've established a relationship with SMU, that is Sefako Makatu institution, where they're able to help us with practical experiments. But we only focus on doing the ones that are on SABC, the ones that are practical, the ones that are recorded. So as to the ones that we supposed to do, because remember, our learners get to understand when they touch and feel and be able to do those particular, they understand the context and the content far much better if they do more of the practicals. Yeah. But we only do few. The ones that we record on SBA only. That's the challenge that we have. Sure. So humbly plead with all the stakeholders that are available to come and help us with beefing up our lab.
Absolutely, especially when you consider just how much eagerness there is. I'm going to ask that we step out of the lab itself, Deputy Principal, because there are other infrastructure-related issues that are possibly worth ventilating as we take stock of the sometimes inequality that is very stark around the matric performance. I'm taking a look, for example, at some of the shelters there that could do with a bit of work. I imagine this is also areas where you're hoping there'd be a bit of help.
Remember, it's a non-fee pay school, so we've got some challenges when it comes to our infrastructure. You see, it's dilapidated a bit, so we need some sponsors when it comes to this particular school so that we get to equip it and make it look like a very beautiful school that is conducive for teaching and learning.
Sure. And there's so much more to be said, but there's a number of those matriculants. So, Deputy Principal, let me thank you for your time. I can hear your phone is also ringing, somebody trying to get a hold of you. And we'll try to bring in some of the other matriculants as the Deputy Principal goes about the business of the day. 2 of the girls who we've been able to spot who've been here with us and have also done relatively well. Ladies, hello. Thank you very much for speaking to us. Let me start with you. Introduce yourself. Tell us how well you did and what you'll be doing this year.
Hi, I'm Bokamuso Mikwe. I obtained 2 distinctions. It's a bachelor's degree, and I'm going to do chemical engineering this year at the University of Witwatersrand.
Oh, nice. Very nice indeed. Chemical engineering is not for the faint-hearted. All the very best. Yourself?
Good afternoon. My name is Tepe Warabile, and I obtained 2 distinctions with a bachelor's pass, and I'll be doing pharmacy at the University of Makhato.
Very nice indeed. We'll catch up with you guys later on as well as we try to take stock of how well the matriculants here have done. What you've also heard from the deputy principal, by the way, as we continue walking, is that this is a no-fee paying school, and part of what usually comes with that is some kind of feeding scheme program. So bear with me as we walk across to the kitchen that we've been able to spot since we've been here at Modiri Secondary School, where already we're told that there is a fair amount of preparedness ahead of the 2026 academic year, which you know begins in earnest from tomorrow. And this is incredibly important because for many of the students in communities like these, this is the only nutritious meal that they'd be able to actually receive during the course of the day. So let's pop in and get you a sense of what we've been able to spot so far. You'll forgive us as we also walk in here. Some of the ladies have been hard at work making sure, of course, that there is a fair amount of cleanliness and health standards that are maintained. I wonder if we can just grab one of them here. I'm going to grab you, Mama, since you're very close to me. Hello. Thank you very much for welcoming us into your kitchen. I know it's a very, guarded area, but, more importantly, I was mentioning that this is a place where a lot of people will, of course, have an interest because the pupils here sometimes come from very difficult backgrounds, and this is the only meal they might be able to receive.
It's true. Most of our children, some are orphans, some are vulnerable because of the background from home, finding that maybe there's GBV, or others, they are from a single household. You find that it's only a mother, so they are definitely struggling. And another thing that we found ourselves doing is to pack maybe groceries for them over the weekend so that they can have at least something to eat. In the morning, they come and get at least a porridge. The ladies are busy preparing the porridge for them, so they come very early, actually. Yeah. So I'm very impressed with our staff that is right there, hands-on to assist.
Yeah, and they've been very eager. If we had the time, I think we'll speak to all of them. You can see the cameras are out rolling already to capture this moment. Capacity-wise, how are you doing? Do you find that you're able to keep up with the demand for the school?
Unfortunately, some other times we find that the people who have to deliver food, they might be late, and we end up going to the neighboring schools to go and ask for assistance, maybe for food for those children, because most of the learners, they make sure that they come as early as possible so that they can grab a porridge at least before they go to school, because others, you find that they haven't eaten anything even the previous night. So it is important that at least they get something. So, and again, another thing is the problem with the furniture. So we don't have enough space for putting our groceries. Our shelves are falling. So, but what can we say? Because the school is very old, unfortunately.
Yeah, making it work with what you have. Thank you very much. I know there's also a storage area, which you showed me earlier on. Hopefully we'll be able to see it. All right, maybe let's pop in very quickly, just so you can see what we're talking about when we talk about some of the meals that are prepared, I suppose. This is where we are, the balance at the start of 2026, if you like. It's a fair amount of stock, I suppose, for someone like me who's a bachelor, but I can't help but wonder how far it will go throughout the year when you have to feed an entire school, especially given some of the socio-economic conditions that we've heard about here. So that's what you have, at least insofar as the kitchen is concerned. But of course, the schooling community involves more than just the teachers, the cooking staff. There's also the school governing body, which has been very vocal once again as we've been here. And I've spotted the SGB chairperson of this institution, who is also with us here. And I wonder, sir, if we can just maybe ask you to come towards this end so we can see you a bit easier. It takes a village, they say, to raise a child, and so many children here stepping into the next phase of their lives. As an SGB, what are some of the issues that you reckon we should think about, given some of the unique challenges at a school like this?
As an SGB, my name is Johnson Nguni, SGB chairperson, and the challenges that we are getting in here, it's mostly the kids that are vulnerable, that are orphans, and we try by all means organizing meetings with the parents so that they must intervene, and they follow up. They do help us a lot. The parents from the villages, from wherever background they are from, they come, they listen to what when we call them for meetings, and they come, and then we share ideas.
Yeah.
Yes.
And from a department's perspective, can the department do more?
Yes, we feel like the department is not doing that much more, because on infrastructure, we're getting what we're getting from the department. Again, we feel like it's a little bit less. They could add more value because we have more students. We cater more students because we don't want any child to be at home. We try by our level best, because most of the kids from other schools, they are full, and we compromise as the SGB and the parents. That's why we're getting good results, because the teachers components and us with SGBs and the parents at large. When we call meetings, we share ideas, and then they give efforts, the teachers and the parents, and then that's why we get good results. And we need more results than this. We told even the ones that are coming that we need more. As far as we got 87%.
Yeah, what's the next target?
The next target, we're hoping for 90 plus. That's what we want from the grade 11s that are here. And we can only make it with the teachers and the parents holding hands together, and the SGB at large. Absolutely. And the principals also.
Absolutely. Babu Mnguni, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much indeed for sharing your sentiments with us. So there you have it, really just a snapshot of essentially the community that is here at Modiri Secondary School. As I mentioned, it really takes a whole lot of people playing their part in order to ensure that schools like this, which, if the statistics are anything to go by, wouldn't be doing as well as it is, but nonetheless, you find matriculants here against all of those odds really trying their best and coming out with that 87% pass rate, up slightly from 85% in 2024.